My coding journey and why I decided to focus on writing and producing and pixel art and animation, uh, and kind of set aside learning to code as not something I'm focusing on right now. So in primary school and intermediate school, which in America, intermediate, I think it's kind of like junior high. It's between being a senior at primary school and being like 13 in high school usually. So 11 and 12 years old is intermediate school, which is not as strict and formal as high school, but still with schedules and formal classes, but your grades don't really mean anything. So I was in a robot school summer program and began to learn robot programming on Aroma with Logo. I was also learning BBC Basic on an emulator for a BBC Micro on my family's Acorn Archimedes computer. Acorn also made the BBC Micro. Archimedes had its own operating system, it was called RISC-BOS, and was an alternative to the IBM PC and the Macintosh at the time. The later Archimedes had not a dual software operating system, but actually had dual chips processors inside for both the PC and the Archimedes. But we didn't have one of those. There were lots of games available for the Archimedes, but I was getting heavily into programming with BBC Basic. Past typing of programs and getting into analyzing the code and writing my own games, which probably why I aced algebra later on in high school. I started writing a boxing game by tying sprites together, the big heads. Then I got bored and turned it into a Pong game, using the heads as balls, which I didn't finish. I just got to bouncing or overlapping movements around the screen border and the heads bouncing off each other. So then I discovered Liberty Basic, which is Basic for Windows. It was created by Carl Grundle, and I first found out about it by the forum, which is not there anymore, but had a ton of in-depth tutorials on how to code in the language, a lot of them written by Carl. I now have the book, which is a collection of his writings about the language. A few years later, I discovered Python, and it wasn't that different to Basic. There were no line numbers, but a lot of the syntax and logic and structure of the code and process were very similar, and in some ways identical. Python took me a while, and I stopped coding to focus on writing, producing, design, and art. This was around 2001. I began studying C# by a Massey University by distance, but I found that in C++ to be way overcomplicated. Then things like having to convert binary to decimal and back. I mean, you don't need to have your maths ripping apart your brain from the inside with things like Python and JavaScript, and you can still make games with those languages. So C# and C++ are like way unnecessary. I feel if you just want to be a game developer. When I first started in web dev, I was using Dreamweaver and I grabbed some JavaScript features now and then and tinkered with code a little bit before I even understood JavaScript. I could see what I could do for the website and in some cases how to change it. I didn't know enough JavaScript to write natively programs in JavaScript, but I could see how I could manipulate the code to use limited amounts in my Dreamweaver website. I then learned a little JavaScript and I was picking it up fast. I also learned a bit of Python, both by books and W3 schools. I'm proficient in JavaScript. I mostly can just bug fix and write one-page programs. I don't know enough to build games. I later learned some Unity while leading my team who are building a game in Unity. This was recently, and another in Unity 5. We're now building those games. As a writer, I've got about 30 years experience, serious education, talent, craft, and superior skill. As a producer, I've got about 10 years experience, some education and strong aptitude, and I've learned a lot. And we're currently working our team on our first two portfolio pieces. As I just mentioned, we're using Unity and Unreal Engine 5. Now, in contrast to this, as a coder, I've probably on and off 8 years experience. I struggle with it and I'm a noob. So that's pretty much why I gave up coding, focused on writing and producing. I haven't necessarily given up coding forever, but for now I've shelved it. I'm also, though, upskilling in pixel art into the animation. Okay, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Like it if you like it. Please consider subscribing. and check out some of the other videos. I usually upload videos on Thursday. Thanks.